What is up, guys? How we doing? I thought we would try something different today. Look, so my point of my video yesterday was I talk about things I'm passionate about, and often that has to do with social injustices and whatnot. I need to start figuring out what I'm passionate about that's good that I can share with you guys for enjoyment. You know what I'm saying? And I figured today, since I've been through so much shit, we would go over a Reddit thread, r/advice, and I would give advice to some young men out there. All right, let's see how that works. Do this and it not take an hour. So I've hand selected a few. Let's go. Be honest. Am I a bad wife? My husband, 35, has been picking fights with me about seemingly nothing. I am a stay-at-home mom, but I also work from home part-time. He works for his family's business, of course, always call it, and understand that it's hard work. I've never once said it wasn't. He got mad at me because I said I was tired, because our 1-year-old didn't sleep that well because she was sick, and I'm also still breastfeeding, so she wakes up quite a bit. He said it's annoying that I complain about being tired when he's the only one going to work. I do way more things at work than anybody else. If I had to stay at home and watch the baby, it would be so easy, and cleaning the house would be so easy. I feel like I'm trying to do the best I can, but I'm struggling since having our 4th baby. I do all the cooking, laundry, cleaning, taking the kids to school and practice and games on the weekends, all the doctor's appointments, school meetings. I feel like I'm holding the house together, and he gets mad when I ask him to pick up his dirty work clothes off the ground and put them in the basket. When he gets home from work, I try not to ask him for help at all because he gets annoyed. I have dinner ready and I'm still dealing with our kids by myself. He says I have it easy and I'm spoiled, and he has it worse because he works all day till dark, 8:30 to 5, sometimes less. I remember my first part-time job. So should I be doing anything different? Yes, you should leave your husband and take your kids because he seems like a really great standout guy. First of all, let me shout this out for the people in the back. Stay-at-home moms does not equal I'm living life for free, especially when you have a 4th kid. All right? I've been a stay-at-home dad, I've been a working full-time dad, and I've been a single working full-time dad. And stay-at-home dad was definitely the easiest, but I only had 1 child. All right? Not to mention, whether you're working 8 to 5 or not, whether you're a working man, help your wife out. Help her out. Have some nights. Let her get a night of rest where you stay up with the baby. 8 to 5, you little puss. I was working 3 p.m. to 3 a.m., coming home and dealing with the baby till 7 a.m., cooking meals and doing all that. And you're telling me that because you work 8 hours a day, sometimes less, that's it, that's all, your wife's supposed to do the rest? Like, men need to hear this. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Yes, dealing with the stress of finances is more stressful than staying at home and dealing with the kids, but that doesn't mean it's less work, and that doesn't mean that you should just never help out around the house. That doesn't mean that you should treat your wife like she has life easy, and that you shouldn't ever pitch in and change a fucking diaper. That you should, like, literally, dude, give your wife a break one night and maybe take care of the kids at night instead of making her do it. Give your wife a break and maybe do the dishes one night. Just because you worked 8 hours doesn't mean that, you put in your work for the day, I'm done. If you have such a problem doing that, then maybe don't have a 4th child. Maybe stop impregnating your wife. Huh? Ever think of that? Like, it genuinely bugs me because, yes, going to work and dealing with bills is stressful. But having multiple kids to take care of, that's a full-time job, dude. That's a full-time job in itself. And she said that she works part-time from home. So she works too. And this guy just expects her to be a house bitch. And that's fucked. Brother, you work 8 hours a day. Get over yourself. I was working 12 hours straight, no breaks, no shit, and it wasn't for my family's business because, you know, you can't get hired anywhere else. Now, yes, I am working for my grandmother now, but don't even, okay? Don't even bring it up, all right? But I was waiting tables, coming home, dealing with the baby at night. Now I get to do both. Now I have the privilege of both. And let me tell you, man, you just working 8 hours a day and thinking that you've put in a good day of work, you're a puss. And what values do you have to offer your children if that's how you treat your wife and that's how you look at life? So, should I be doing anything different? No. As a matter of fact, maybe stop cleaning up his dirty clothes and just let it pile up. Then whenever he bitches about it and has a problem with it, maybe he'll start picking it up, or leave him for a guy that's actually competent and doesn't think that working fucking 8 to 5 is from sunrise to sunset. It's not dark by 5. You liar. Like, whatever. All right. Okay, this is an interesting one too. My lady went to a party I didn't agree with. The past 3 days, she's come home at 3 to 4 a.m. from the bar with her friend, female. We've been together for years. She asked me today if it would be alright if she went to the party at some guy's house that her friend will be hooking up with. She said the guy and his friends will be there, and 2 of her friends. I don't know any of the guys, but her 2 friends are very sleazy. I have work in the AM, so going out was not an option. I told her I was uncomfortable with her going to the guy's house and his friends there without me there. She then threw a fit, broke up with me, and left the house. I texted her hours later, about 11 p.m., and told her I hoped the party was worth it. She said she hasn't even gotten to the party yet. I don't know what to do. Should I just accept that she's leaving? Should I move on, or should I try to work this out? For more context, it's not that I don't trust her. I don't trust the group of men that I do not know, especially around drunk women. Advice needed. Here's my advice, brother. She was willing to dump you right away because you weren't going to let her spend the night at a dude's house while her friend gets blown out and other dudes are also there. Which means she probably would have no problem putting your relationship on the line when she's drunk around a bunch of dudes. Now, trust is the foundation of all relationships. You need to be able to trust your partner in all situations, even a fucked up one like this. But setting your boundaries when you get together, everybody has different boundaries. Every couple has different boundaries, right? Different insecurities, different what they think is right and wrong. But here's the truth, okay? If your wife or your husband is trustworthy, they're not going to want to go spend the night at a dude's house where their friend is getting railed. This reminds me of in high school, like, my girlfriend dumped me because I wasn't okay with her hanging out at a dude's house, and then she fucked him that night. So she also had a best friend who was 16 running around with 25-year-olds and hated me because I wasn't okay with my 16-year-old girlfriend hanging out with 25-year-old dudes. Wonder why. And I was a piece of shit for that. It's not that I didn't trust her. It's that obviously a 25-year-old dude hanging out with a 16-year-old only has one thing in mind. And that's just a dangerous situation to put yourself in, even if you don't have any good intentions. The point I'm trying to make is if you are in a healthy relationship where you are respecting each other's boundaries, you wouldn't even want to go over to a dude's... As a woman, you wouldn't want to go to a dude's house to spend the night and get drunk. You would understand why, obviously, that would make your partner uncomfortable, and you wouldn't even be doing that shit. You wouldn't be talking to guys. You wouldn't be doing... This sounds to me like you are dodging a bullet, my friend. A classic narcissist, and there's nothing more fucked up than it either. You know, to go, wow, you're being so controlling, you won't let me go spend the night at this dude's house and get drunk while my friend's getting banged out in the other room and these 2 other guys are staring at me. Actually look at that in context and listen to yourself. Wow, That's so controlling. You're so toxic. Why would you want to do that if you're in a relationship? Why? Why? You know? Like, there's literally no reason to other than you don't have good intentions. And there's nothing more fucked up than saying you're a crazy control freak for not being okay with that and then going to the party, fucking the guy, and then still trying to make it out to be like everybody else is the problem. My advice, leave her. No amount of person is worth that much stress. Like, it sounds like she was willing to put your relationship on the line pretty goddamn quick. So, next. I'm depressed and need help. I'm 27, unemployed despite desperately trying, and I still live at home with my parents. I know it's hard for everyone at the moment, but it feels like every time I try to move forward with my life, something comes along and stops it dead in its tracks, and it's always something that I have no control over, and it's really starting to get to me. The last job I had, I worked there for a month before I was let go because they no longer had the resources to support my job. It was a small business, and now I don't know what to do with myself. I don't really know if there is anything anyone can do to help me, not even my distractions to do anything for me because I have no motivation to do any of them. I just spend my days sat in my room alone, rotting away, endlessly scrolling on my PC or my phone. I want to talk to my friends and family about all of it, but I don't know how because there's absolutely nothing any of them can do to help me either. I don't really know why I'm even writing this, but I guess I just need to say something somewhere about it all. Not sure. Any help would be greatly appreciated, even though I don't feel like there's anything I can do. That sucks, man. That sucks. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. My best advice that I can honestly give you as someone that's struggling with kind of the same issue is a body in motion stays in motion. If you're just rotting alone in your room with your thoughts, that's the worst case scenario. That's the worst thing you can do, you know? Find you a job, like, first of all, I don't know why you're saying that jobs are hard to find. They're really not. Jobs that pay well, that aren't hard, are hard to find. But you could go get a job at McDonald's today. Be appreciative of the fact that you still live at home with your parents and don't have to pay rent as a 27-year-old male. Try to look at the positives that you have because some people aren't in that situation. Take a job that you don't want to do, you know, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like you can't get a job somewhere. You absolutely can. Get a job that you don't want to do and keep your mind busy. It's better than rotting alone away in your room. And find hobbies. Find something to take out that aggression time. I get it, dude. I get how it is when you're depressed. Taking a shower seems like too much work. Getting out of bed is hard. But you got to. You got to. Because if you just lay there rotting away, that's exactly what you're doing. Rotting away. And a body in motion stays in motion. If you're working, even if it's a job you hate, at least you are doing something. At least you are keeping your mind busy. Find hobbies. Start figuring out yourself. This is the age where you start to realize, man, I'm a full-grown adult and I don't really know what makes me tick. Find yourself. Find your hobbies. Find what makes you happy and start focusing on that. And I get it. I get that it's easy to just sit here and say that. It's very easier said than done. But first of all, you need to stop looking at things like, poor me, everything happens to me. All right? I've done that for years. You need to stop doing that. Like I said, you need to look at the good things, right? This isn't a dig. I'm not digging at you for living with your parents. That isn't a dig. But that is a fortunate situation. You know, most 27-year-olds don't have parents, or especially don't have parents that are together. And you get to live with them, so you don't have bills, right? So trying to appreciate what you have is step number one. Step number two is finding something to get you out of the room so you are not rotting away and keeping your mind busy and getting that ball rolling so it stays in motion. Otherwise, you'll just completely stay still. It sounds to me like you're not taking jobs because you're too good for them. Like, there's no way that you're there is no shortage of jobs right now. It's just you don't want to work at McDonald's. And I get it. I get it. Look, I'd rather be homeless than work at McDonald's. I get it. But if you're in the situation that you're in, you have no bills, you might as well take a job that you hate and save up until something else comes along. Depression's a hard thing to overcome, man. I'm not going to sit here and say go to therapy or go get on meds. I don't know how extensive it is. You didn't give me a lot of info here. But what I do know is that you're already making excuses for as to why you don't have a job when I know there's endless amount of jobs out there. You're rotting away. And yeah, man, that's my advice. You need to be grateful for the situation that you are in, which I know is hard. Like, saying there's always somebody that has it worse is not a good way to get you to overcome the obstacles that you're in. So that's not what I'm trying to say. But at the end of the day, you do have parents. That's awesome. You get to live with your parents. That's also awesome. Like, appreciating the little things like that, you know, imagine you didn't have any parents. So stop looking at the world as everything's stopping it dead in its tracks, shitting on me, you know. Start appreciating what you do have in this moment, because you're not always going to have it. And start rolling the ball. Start getting the ball rolling. Find a job, even if you hate it, to keep yourself busy, and figure out hobbies to keep yourself busy. But the worst thing you can do is sit in your room rotting away all day. That's the best advice I have for you. And I understand that it might sound a little mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying that you do have things that a lot of people don't. And a lot of people are not grateful for those things until they are gone. You know? And appreciate what you have. Appreciate that your parents are still here. Appreciate that you get to stay with them. Try talking to them more. I don't know. You know, like, try talking to them about this. You know? And I do know for an absolute fact that you can find a job. You know? It's not like you have a kid attached to your hip and no parents, so you can't go to work. All right? So, no, I'm not trying to argue with, you know, some people got it worse, so boo-hoo, you get over it. That's not my point. Depression is very real. You can be rich and still be depressed. But the main thing to do when you are feeling that way, and when you are feeling like getting out of bed is too much, is to get out of bed. To put your mind to work. To stay busy. Will that cure the depression? No. No, it won't. But it'll make you not think about it. And in time, you will start to feel better. All right? That's a deep one. I think that's all I got for you guys today. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. You know, yesterday I was thinking about what I'm passionate about and realized that the reason why politics keep coming up, and that's why I'm talking about them, is because I'm passionate about them. But I'm trying to figure out what I'm passionate about that's positive that I can share with you guys, so my videos aren't just negative. I know that a lot of you like my rants and my political tirades, but I really do talk about things because I'm passionate about them, and that's whenever I make my best content. And I'm trying to figure out what I enjoy that I'm passionate about that I can share with you guys to make more positive videos. And maybe giving advice, shit like that, could be good, because I'm decent at it. I've been through hell and back, and yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you like this video, and I'll make more of them. But this is just one idea out of many. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.